What's going on, guys? Brian Matthews here. It would help if I put it in drive. I'm gonna start a new series of videos here for you. We're actually gonna kind of start doing a little bit of vlogging for you, just showing you what our normal day is around the house after I get off my 9-to-5 job. So starting out, we're gonna do a little routine maintenance on the tow behind bush hog that we have. Y'all have probably seen it before or heard about them before. They are the Swisher tow behind mowers. We use it currently to tow behind our Can-Am Commander and bush hog this field that you see behind us here. So let's get started. So, excuse the mess. This is the Swisher 44-inch cut tow behind bush hog that we use and have used for roughly a year now. We moved into the house here, like I say, just a little over a year ago. Bought this from a guy. Used back then. Basically some of the maintenance that we're going to do on it, obviously, is check the oil, check the air filter, just make sure all that's good to go. Put some gas in it. Got a little bit of gas over here that we need to put in it. Check some of the bolts. Some of the bolts tend to work themselves loose over the course of the year. And then the other thing is, as you can see, there is no battery. The battery is actually sitting over on the bench over here. Gonna try to jump it off and see if the alternator, it doesn't have an alternator, but see if the electronics will charge up and actually put some charge back on the battery. I accidentally, as you can see, this is the the keyed model where you can electronic start model, and I accidentally left the key on. Go figure, my luck. But anyways, so that's the gist of what we're going to do today. Like I say, put some grease in these fittings down here on the tires as well. Haven't done that yet in over a year. So those probably need it, and then obviously it probably needs a little bit of cleaning too, so I may get froggy and do that as well. The other thing that we're going to do, I believe the Can-Am has a few grease points as well. We're going to try to find those and grease some of those as well if they do have it. But so yeah, let's get started. This is that cam locker toolbox that I did a video review on not too long ago, and like I say, it's pretty snazzy to have, pretty handy to have, and it holds pretty much anything and everything that I'd ever want, including my hunting blind that I still haven't taken out. Let's see. It would help if I had the end down. And as I thought, she's dry. She's real dry. We'll come back and clean that up. Get the broom out the way. Always gotta have a good broom around the shop. I can tell you right now, those fittings have never had grease in them. Not even from the factory, because nothing came out of them except the new grease there. Not sure if that'll actually help. It helps a little bit, get some of that wobble out of it. That's the kind of the purpose of having that there. And you can kind of see it's probably the worst one. It's just got a little bit of wobble to it, and like I say, I'll clean that up here in just a second with the rag. So we got the grease fittings. I believe those are the only two, to be honest with you. Only two that make sense. Rest of it's pretty simple. Obviously, got a Kawasaki engine on here, gas tank, the throttle and electronic start, your oil filter, oil check, and then your air filters on top. So we'll check that one next just to see, and kind of go from there, taking care of this thing. What I do know from earlier this year, trying to start this thing, other than the fact that I killed the battery, the thing wouldn't start. To be honest with you, starting out the first of the year, we've ran this thing once, maybe twice already, and basically it would turn over, but it just didn't sound like it was firing correctly. So I just went ahead and took the spark plugs out, replaced those, and they were pretty much done. They were burnt on the ends, and probably could have made them work again. I just went ahead for the extra couple bucks, just went ahead and replaced them. Obviously your biggest thing is your air filter. I actually had to take this other channel off right here, the breather tube, whatever you want to call it, and put a rag on it and put my hand over it to give it some compression for that initial startup. Like I say, it's sitting all winter long, not being cranked, not being turned on. Here in the shop even, it needed some TLC. Like I said, this is just these kind of things, like checking the oil, checking the grease fittings. Should have been doing the grease fittings ever since I got the thing, but to be honest with you, just recently got that grease gun. That's why it's a fairly cheap one. Got it off of, I believe, Walmart, and with all this virus stuff going on, they brought it to the car and everything. So, like I say, it helped out. It works. Obviously, the grease that that we got with it is the high flow or high whatever grease that you can get. But anyways, that's as long as you're putting something in it, it's better than nothing, obviously. So my air hose compressor has a leak, so I'm gonna turn this thing on and blow these air filters out. All right, so I got the air filter blown out as best I could. Obviously, it's You can tell it's not that dirty. It was pretty filthy, kind of the start of the season, but like I say, just wanted to try to take care of it and keep up with it as long as I possibly can. I know some of this around here is kind of dirty. I'll probably clean that up a good bit like I did last time. That way it's not sucking up so much dust and dirt. There's a little bit of grass, things like that that are just kind of all over it, which is typical for something like this. You're going to pick up stuff, it's going to get in there. You're just going to have to maintain it as often as you can. These engines are kind of finicky just because they're small engines. So, like I say, as often as you can kind of clean it out and keep the oil changed and your air filter. Oil change, air filter, and carburetor are probably your 3 biggest things, and then obviously your next thing would be your spark plugs and, you know, having good fuel. To be honest with you, I know a lot of people, including a lot of people that know a whole lot more about small engines than I do, will tell you run nothing but non-ethanol. I believe that's true, and there's some truth to that. But to be honest with you, I run the 97% or whatever it is, the higher octane out of this thing, and my Can-Am Commander over there that we use to pull this. So don't really have that big of issues with it. The other thing y'all are probably going to say is don't check the oil with a dirty rag, but oil looks fairly clean. I have not changed the oil in this. I know that's a big no-no. Oil level is full, but for as often as I've used it, like I say, we may use it I'd say we probably used it 7 times last year to cut that backfield, maybe a little bit more, maybe 10. It's not like it's your normal yard where you're cutting once a week or whatever. We have a good bit of property to actually grass cut, and so I typically don't cut grass that often. It's usually about every other week or every 3 weeks. Let's see what we got to check off the list. We did the grease fittings, which I need to still clean. Check the air filter, which you can hear the leak in the air hose. Filled the gas tank up and made a huge mess with all of that, and that'll probably be edited out. And check the bolts. That's the last thing we gotta do for this. So I'll clean up these spindles a little bit and clean the grease fittings just to keep them from getting that dirt and everything around it and wearing it out any more than it already is because it didn't have grease on it. As far as the reliability of the Swisher products, I know this isn't technically a review, but I know they have recently fixed this right here to make it where most of them come with the 2-inch ball receiver instead of the ATV trailer pin hitch. For $100, $120, whatever, plus shipping probably, you can buy the receiver hitch for it. I'm just too dang cheap to buy one. The other issue is underneath all this grass right here. you can see you've got these 2 bolts, and usually these 2 bolts will work themselves loose to where this spins. So what I typically do, obviously, is tighten it up. I've had to replace those. That's why they don't look factory. The other thing is, you can see my cord is kind of, as far as the electronic start and the throttle, this housing is actually supposed to be on the back of a 4-wheeler or the back of the Can-Am like it was. My pin broke, and obviously what happens is that little box stays attached to your 4-wheeler, your ATV, your UTV, whatever you got pulling this thing, and the mower stays in the field. So it completely ripped every bit of the harnessing out and off the engine here, and it took my dad and I every bit of about 2 hours or so to figure out how to rewire this thing, find a schematic that actually worked, and make it function again. So what I did, I know it's a little bit dangerous, is I just took loose one of the bolts and then slid that into it. You can kind of see that bolt right there, and just attached it firmly to the deck. Hadn't had any problems with anything wiggling loose or jolting loose because of that. Typically what I do is I'll crank it, throttle down, pull the PTO out, and then throttle back up on a flat level ground. And then, like I say, because the pin broke, we had to fashion a new pin. And as you can tell, because there's so much play with that hole on the ATV mount and this pin and it going inside the trailer, the hitch itself, it started to bend the pin again. So the issue I'm having with one of these bolts is the washer is starting to flare up on the ends just because of all the wear and everything. This one did all right, but as you can tell, it's a whole lot tighter now. If you need a grease gun, I know there's another video out there from Wendell Well Services, but if you need a grease gun and you're strapped for cash, buy one from Walmart. It actually does pretty good. This one came with the flex hose, which I think 99.999% of the people use. And then it comes with a fixed nozzle as well that's about, I'd say, 4 inches long, that you can screw in there. Like I say, the grease I got was a high flow grease or high temperature grease that we bought online from Walmart as well. And other than the fact that you got to pump 100 million times to get it to actually fill up something, it probably wouldn't be that bad if those bearings over there weren't completely empty. But like I say, if you need something cheap or just to throw on another truck, I would, check out them. It seemed to do pretty good. Like I said, that was just my first time using it. The end down here did really well as far as clicking into the grease fitting and staying tight. Obviously, as you use it, it will wear, I'm sure. And we'll see if it starts to leak right here usually, or down here. Those seem to be the two places that grease guns will leak on you. I'm not the greatest at maintaining my stuff, to be honest with you. So if you want a good opinion of how things can be treated, I'm definitely not the type of person to just go out there and just completely trash something. But I'll put some work on something and not regret it. So I'm gonna go get some gas, and that way we'll be ready for the next time. I know I need to fill up that Cub Cadet over there. Probably need to put a little bit more in the UTV as well. and get some of my batteries charged and stuff like that, and pretty much clean up. So appreciate it. If y'all enjoyed this video, leave me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. If these kind of videos interest you, I know I should have said this in the beginning, but if these kind of videos interest you, where we're doing kind of farm review stuff, hunting, outdoor fishing, maintenance stuff, working on a piece of property, working on a farm. I've got access with my cousin, roughly 100 acres or so of property over there as well. We manage and deer hunt on, and try to turkey hunt on, and some other stuff we just have fun on. But if these kind of videos interest you, please feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave us a comment down below as to what I can do to make the channel better. Like I say, I'm trying to make, this is new to me, trying to make things a little bit more personal and give y'all something that's just a little bit different than everybody else out there. And actually try to teach you something, but also show you real life applications, like me spilling gas all over the dang Swisher. So anyways, if you like these kind of videos, please like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos. We appreciate y'all. Thanks. Have a great one.